today. So let's hear it, Doc.
Oh,
And
okay.
no sing, no sing.
I'm gonna leave that alone. Now, all right, did you hear that feedback? Okay, and you muted out, so maybe. Hmm. All right, well, I'm trying to do things so that when Queen comes on and she asks questions, that we can record her questions and people can hear her voice on our recordings. And for some reason, I don't know why I tend to have a challenge with that, but I'm not a techie, so. All right, so let's see here. Let's look at our notes. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's webinar. Let's start off with some Divvee news. Bear with me. All right, so we were on a conference call with Lance on today, and they talked about the types of offers, and some of you that were able to register to kind of demo test or what have you, you've gotten some offers, you've gotten some email offers where all we had to do was put in our email address. The cool thing about the email offers, at least the ones that I've done so far, um, all those offers are actually going over with Gmail. They're going over to my promotions folder. So it's not like when you put your email address in for an email offer that your primary inbox, at least for me, it hasn't worked this way. My primary inbox has not been cluttered at all. All of those promotional emails that I'm getting by putting my email address in those offers are going over to my promotions folder. I still check them out, but they're not in the way, if you will. So email offers, free product giveaways, all these things are things that are coming. He's expecting sometime this month. It might be towards the latter end, but keep in mind that we're already, this time next week, will already be the mid part of the month. So we'll be towards the end of April before you know it. Surveys, mobile apps. One of the things that he said is that with their clients that they're bringing on board now, they are ensuring that paying out points and even paying through generations are not going to be an issue. Apparently, maybe that became an issue with a couple of the clients that they had before. So as they bring on clients now, part of the negotiation is to make sure that when we are doing our activities, our personal activities, that we're earning points, and then when we're doing those activities, the folks above us are earning commissions. Likewise, when people in your organization are doing these activities, they earn their points. I feel a cough coming on, excuse me. Sorry about that. Let me get a little water. They are earning their points, and you will be earning commissions on your organization. I want to keep this in mind that when they did the payout, let's see, sometime in March, all right, for February, we had very few people in Divvee. When we heard about Divvee, we heard about it, but when we actually did our little study on Divvee, it was like 24 hours, or maybe a little more than 24 hours, but just about a day before Divvee was going to close down for enrollments back in, I guess, January-ish or something like that. Okay. And so we got in less than 50 people in that time period. We just didn't have the time. And when they reopened back in, I guess it was February-ish, only those people that were in our organization, which was like, I think it was 46, I believe was the number, something like that. Only those folks were the ones that were able to do ranking and sharing activities, okay? Now, I can tell you, they, being Divvee, Lance, was extremely disappointed in the payout that they received, that they were able to pay out to the field. They paid out 100% to the field. I was excited because with less than 50 people, we had just under about $200 in commissions. And if you do the numbers on that, that's not bad at all. You're talking $40. Is that right? Is that $40 a head? Am I right on that? Is that 50? Did I do that right? So 200 divided by 46 folks. Oh, maybe I was wrong on that. All right. So in any event, but I still was pleased because we just didn't have that many people in the organization whatsoever. All right. So and that was with them getting I know what it was. What I was.
You didn't do the math right just there.
I didn't.
Well, it was basically times. You had to times that by 12.
Why am I timesing it by 12?
Because it was 12. It was down 12.
Are
you talking about what your commissions were? It was down. Are you talking about your commissions? It was by. It was when you
That's
had
what it was.
6 people, correct?
Right. That's what. Okay, I know what I did. I did multiply it times what they were anticipating that they were going to get.
Exactly. They were anticipating 12 times more.
All right. They were anticipating. Initially, they were anticipating about 30 times more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They were anticipating 30 times more because they were expecting 30 cents per action on the video views. Then they were told by the clients that it was going to be 3 cents, which is basically, cut by 90%, and it wound up being 0.8 cents. And so what we said on the last, what we said on the last webinar was the reason I was excited about that, even though it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but had they been paid what they thought they were going to be paid, all right, and by the way, they paid out 100% of what they took in, they paid out to the field. Now, had they been paid what they thought they were going to be paid, just based on what most marketing companies do, they pay out about 50% to the field. All right, so they would have made 30 times more than what they made. Let's say that they would have paid out half of that, so we could have taken, what we made and say multiply it times 15. All right, so if I made roughly $200, and let's say they got paid what they thought they were going to get paid, that would have been about $3,000. Now, if you divide that by 46 folks, I think that's how many or so we had in the organization at the time, $65 a head with nobody being on a monthly subscription or a monthly auto ship. And so when I look at things like that, this is what leads me to believe, along with their transparency, along with their honesty, along with their communication, this is what leads me to believe that this is the big one. And we're not going to put all of our eggs in one basket, but as we develop our income stream with Divvee, CRB, Divvee, that's going to allow us to plant other income streams. So ultimately, we're going to look up, even my Joe and Susie average that up to this point haven't been good at marketing, you're going to look up and you're going to have multiple streams of income if you follow what we're doing. All right, so real quickly on the Divvee, by the end of the month, they said enrollments will be back. Sure, we'd love to have it next week or what have you, but before we know it, we'll be at the end of the month. And with you coming into CRB 1, 2, being introduced to our in-house traffic guru and starting to, those of you that are going to get his course and then start to do what he teaches you to do so that you can start generating leads. By the time they turn on enrollment, you should have that, knowing how to do those ads and driving traffic and what have you. So you should be really good at that. Okay. So I'm okay that it may take if it winds up being at the end of the month. By the end of the month, you should feel very comfortable once being in CRB, understand the lead capture pages and the autoresponder systems and how all that worked. Some of you that have your own autoresponders, loading up your own autoresponders with our autoresponder messages, so on and so forth. They did say rank and share would be back. Commissions would be back, and worth the time that people are spending to do their activities. They said enrollments would be much smoother. Now, it still looks like that they're going to require some type of invitation initially. What Lance would like to see is just basically where you have your traditional referral link and you just get it out. But I don't think they're going to start off with that, probably so that they don't have the issues that they had initially that caused some challenges with their other clients anyway. Now, what that's going to do for us at CRB is that's going to put us heads and above our competition. Our competition is anybody else that's out there that's promoting that's not in your team. All right? You want to see everybody win, obviously. Okay, so it's not a bad competition, but you obviously want to have as many people in your Divvee matrix as you possibly can. So those who are not using CRB, most of those won't know what to do. all right, and they won't go to a cold market, or they won't place ads like you're going to learn to do and start driving traffic and getting people ready for enrollment. We've designed the current messaging so that the people that are coming through the current messaging are going to hear that we're in beta. So it's not going to mean anything to them, meaning they're not going to be bent out of shape when they go through our presentations. And let's say there is no enrollment for them right now with Divvee. Nobody's going to be, getting upset about that, because we're telling them that they are entering beta and they need to connect with their coach. You are going to be their coach. And that just edifies you so that they'll want to reach out to you. You're going to have some very quality leads because of the messaging that we have there, okay? So he did mention that there's going to be a great inventory, all right? These were his words that they have given him. He said almost unlimited for the U.S. Now, for other countries, that inventory might be spotty. He did mention that Canada should have good inventory. I think the UK should have really good inventory, and there was another one I want to say. Did I not write that down? Maybe I didn't. Now, I'm sorry, US, Canada, and UK. He mentioned those. All right. Now, my international folks, don't worry, all right, because we got a game plan for you, so don't worry about that, okay? But for those of you that are in the U.S., I want you to know, based on what they're saying, inventory is not going to be an issue. Now, how they roll all that out, they're still going to have to get the footing on that. So don't expect that to be perfect once they reopen. But in terms of inventory, in terms of, be thinking what they're wanting to do is they want people to be able to commit 30 to 45 minutes a day to do whatever the actions are. And that for that 30 to 45 minutes a day, people generate some really good point volumes. Obviously, we're going to want to convert those into cash equivalents with the gift cards. Don't know if the gift cards are going to be available right away. All right. So, we're going to be telling folks, accumulate the points. And even if the gift cards aren't available, if you go to the redemption center, redeem it for something that you actually were going to purchase, or that you would have needed, or what have you, so that instead of having to purchase something that you were going to purchase anyway, you're able to use those points for that, and you're able to keep that cash in your pocket, reinvest or recap a portion of that back into your business. Now, one of the big things he talked about were the additional benefits that they're bringing. And one of the reasons they're bringing these benefits is so that those that maybe are in countries where maybe it's not even open just yet, or maybe the inventory is not as great just yet, that when someone makes their $50 annual outlay from a US dollar perspective, that there's so much value, so much benefit, even if there's not a lot of inventory yet, in terms of ranking and sharing and what have you. So he talked quite a bit about the travel portal. We've heard that before. Obviously, we know that they were behind on the delivery of that, but this is going to be delivered. I want to say, Queen, you correct me if I'm wrong, was the travel going to be available once they reopen, or did he say?
He did not commit.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So now one of the things he did talk about was that he's had a relationship with this travel portal for some time, that it will be wholesale travel in there, no markup. All right, so no matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to leverage the travel piece, and that's going to be a big marketing piece. Now, one of the great advantages of CRB is that just as soon as we see that and we understand that and we get the messaging, we'll go into the lab. We'll crank out video content, and Queen, that'll be another page. That could be another lead capture page, for instance, so that we could use that lead capture page just from the travel, just to kind of get people, particularly for our international folks, getting people into your system and what have you. All right, so that's what we're going to be able to do with CRB. Now, listen, for those of you, for instance, that have been following us for a while, and especially have been following us with our mobile marketing system, we love our mobile marketing system. One thing we don't have is we don't have the flexibility that we would like to have as content creators. So this is no foo-fooing on our mobile marketing system, but this is one of the reasons why we decided to go into the lab and launch CRB. Because we're not restrained now. Okay, so if the company, for instance, if there's a direction that we can talk about the company to a specific demographic, all we got to do is go in and cut the video, make sure the messaging is in lockstep with the company. Obviously, not everything will be, because we talk deeper about, people get into 6- and 7-figure businesses, but making sure that we're not saying something that would cause the company to get in trouble. That's what I mean by that. All right, so the travel piece is going to be coming. One of the things he mentioned is, World Ventures does hundreds of millions of dollars a year in sales. They are a network marketing company centered around travel. I don't know much about World Ventures. I know a couple people that are in there. But apparently, to get access to their portal might be as much as $100 or more a month. Well, what he said was that our portal, we're getting better pricing than even, let's say, like a World Ventures, because I would imagine, I don't know this to be true, I would imagine that a lot of those other portals maybe mark things up just a little bit. Probably it gives the company a kickback, and got no problem with that. That's entrepreneurship. But he's saying that this will be wholesale travel with no markup. So you should get, for the most part, the best deals in travel in the marketplace. And you're going to have access to that as a benefit of you being a member of Divvee with $50 a year. Okay, so that's going to help us in our international markets. I'll also share with you what CRB is going to help you to do for those of you in the international markets and you're looking to make money sooner rather than later. Shopping portal, he also talked about the shopping portal. I don't believe he gave a time frame on this one either. What he did say is that we were going to get great pricing. He said commissions. This is the first time I've heard this one. He said commissions would be paid to the field for people making purchases through the shopping portal. Now, he didn't go into a whole lot of detail about that, but obviously, if you're going through the portal and you're buying stuff that you would normally buy anyway, and either you're getting a rebate or is producing commissions for the field, that's a really big deal. That's a really big deal. So those things are coming. Essentially, what they want to do is they know that they know from what he's saying, U.S. should have plenty of inventory. Right behind it, Canada, UK should have plenty of inventory. Other countries will have good inventory. Others will be spotty in terms of their inventory. We still want to build up those areas. How do we build up those areas? By having benefits that far exceed the outlay. Okay, and now from a building standpoint, we're going to continue to build, and for people in other countries, we might have to consider it still kind of like a pre-build mode. We've been in pre-building since we first started talking about Divvee. I think that was the first of the year. But this is where CRB is going to help you, because in your portal, you're going to be able to showcase other things that you may be promoting that are already up and running, that already are international or what have you. Okay. All right. Now, he said most of their clients, and I guess the ones that they're bringing on now, they're negotiating this up front, are fine with the idea of paying out points. So you and I earning points for what we do, and then commissions being paid out through the generations. I did confirm, he said it, I asked him again, I just wanted to confirm good inventory. From what, again, he said a tremendous amount of inventory in the U.S., and Canada and the U.K. should have really good inventory as well. Apple's not going to be ready for a while, all right? So if you are an Apple snob like my wife, you're going to have to get over it and make sure, probably everybody now that's been following us for any length of time, you probably ought to have some type of Android device by now. It sounds like some of the ranking sharing activities or the actions that we'll be doing Some may come through the mobile app, but it sounds like some things are going to be like what we're seeing through this beta, where they send out an email and we sign up for a survey, or we put an email address in the form, or something along that line. My quick take, and then we go to CRB. I believe if Divvee executes, and I have every belief that she will. Give me just a moment. My throat is scratchy. Give me a moment. I believe Divvee will be the biggest network marketing company that I've had the pleasure of being associated with. And this is bigger than that company that some of you are aware of. From 2011 to 2012, we were there for 17 months, grew a team to 250,000, had more people make more money in any enterprise up to that point. And we've not seen anything like that since. I believe that Divvee will be bigger than that. I believe that people will make more money in Divvee because there's no regulatory risk. All right, $50. There's no monthly subscription or what have you. And I know for some folks in certain countries, we may not be running on all cylinders right away. We're not running on all cylinders right now in any country. But I believe what's going to happen is that once, let's say the U.S. is starting to run on all cylinders, okay? That word's going to get out en masse. And then they'll have the resources as they continue to develop these relationships with the clients and the time to start to open up the other countries, okay? Obviously, excuse me, the more pre-building that's done in a country, the quicker they're going to focus on opening up that particular country. Okay, now some of you live in smaller countries, so what do we do? All right, what do we do? Well, this is one of the reasons why CRB is going to be so important to you. So now, let's talk a little bit about CRB, okay? All right. Now, one of the things we need to understand is that what CRB is going to do, all right, what our aim was in producing CRB, and we're hitting that aim, is we want to answer the major challenges in the marketing industry. All right, we talk a lot about this when we do our trainings, and what we'll do going forward, maybe not next week because we'll have our in-house traffic guru coming on sometime next week, but let's say not next week, but the week after that. We'll be back to a regular schedule where Tuesday night is more of a presentation night from our perspective. So we're going to always be a value presentation. It's never just going to be join Divvee, join Divvee. It's going to be wrapped in value. And then Thursday nights will be more of a CRB type night where, yeah, we might mention Divvee, but it's really going to be more of a training, marketing training, things that you'll walk away with always walking away with more understanding, more nuggets, more aha moments for your own business. But it also will allow you to invite guests that may be promoting other things. Maybe they're not in Divvee yet, but that messaging of marketing training and what they can do to help build their business will resonate with them, bring them value, and they'll ultimately want to do business with you, okay? So we want to answer the major challenges that we have in the marketing industry. We know that most people struggle in marketing, okay? And so what are some of those challenges? One, lack of high quality, lack of, let's say this, consistent high quality, laser targeted traffic. Okay, so most marketers don't know how to consistently get high quality laser targeted traffic. Not all traffic is created equal. So most marketers don't know how to do that. So they can have the best opportunity, but if you can't get enough eyeballs to the offer, nothing's going to happen. And so that's one of the reasons why we're going to introduce you to our in-house traffic guru. I have been so blown away because I've been the paid marketing guy. The fact that what this gentleman has done, he's really focused and his niche is really on no cost or low cost traffic generation. He has sat at the feet of a couple of the top lead generation, traffic generation specialists, but a lot of their teachings are, paid marketing. All right. So I remember, I know who his mentor is. I know of him. And as a matter of fact, he and I connected way, way, way back when I first got online. But I saw one of his trainings, the mentor's trainings, and he was talking about this new traffic method that he was testing, but he was testing it with $10,000. Well, that's not going to be most people to start, and we want to scale up to that. All right, so what this gentleman has focused on are methods that now you'll have to get the resource, you'll have to get the course, and then apply it. All right, I can tell you that the primary course that works beautifully with what we're doing. I mean, I don't know that there's a better traffic method with what we are doing, particularly given now that we have the invitation system. Now, once we have just regular links, there might be some other traffic methods that would be on par, maybe even exceeded. But with what we have with the invitation system, this method that he's going to share with you, by far, it's not close. And he's in Divvee also. So now he stopped his ads when Divvee stopped the enrollments, but he was kicking butt before they stopped the enrollments. Now, because of CRB, you're going to be able to start placing ads even before enrollment start. And nobody's going to look at you cross-eyed because the messaging inside is, hey, you're part of beta. Okay? All right. So here's one of the challenges. Lack of consistent, high-quality, laser-targeted traffic. We want to bring to you methods that you can learn that don't take a long time, that you don't have to be a tech guru or what have you. They're simple but get results, number one. Number two, we want to have automated systems, because as you begin to scale your business, we believe you should know how to self-generate some leads, and then ultimately you want to be in paid traffic so that starts to automate your lead generation, your traffic generation. All right, and we're not, and we're open down the road to, there'll be some things I'll be doing in the background in terms of testing. Some of you that follow us for a while, you've heard us talk about things like search engine traffic and paid YouTube, and you've heard us even talk about the potential down the road of doing some co-ops. Those are things that I definitely will take a look at as additional sources of traffic generation. So bottom line, when somebody comes to CRB, whether they've learned to self-generate leads or whether they do some automatic traffic systems, or whether they participate down the road, let's say if we do any co-ops where it's basically they just buy a share in the co-op, okay, we want to answer the consistent, high-quality, laser-targeted traffic, the lack of that. We want to answer that question. We're going to answer that question. Number two, most marketers do not have a funnel-based system. A funnel-based system, real quickly, you want to have a lead magnet on the front end that gets people giving you their best contact information, giving you their best data for the ethical bribe that you're giving them. All right. In our case, it's going to be a video series valued at $297. It's really valued at a lot more than that because it's a 31-day, not a 30-day. It's a 31-day series. All right. And we can always add to that. We could make it 50 days, 60 days. But right now we're starting off with a 31-day series. So a funnel-based system, you think of a funnel and you have a lead magnet, okay, designed to get that person giving you their contact information. All right. That's number one. Number two, you want to lead in with a low outlay offer, because this is the first time that they're doing business with you. The fact that Divvee is $50, that qualifies, and the fact that CRB is $1 for the test drive. Now, we've had some people in the question box who say, hey, I don't need a test drive, I just want it. The reason we did the $1 for the test drive is for the cold market. See, when all of a sudden you start generating leads and these people don't know you, they're not your Facebook friends, they don't know who you are from Adam or Eve, then you want to bring down the barriers to entry. So that's why the $1 test drive, all right? And then we know that if they come in for the $1, that why wouldn't they come in for the $1, all right? then they get to see, here's the funnel-based system, they get to see any and everything else that you are promoting in your showcase. All right? I cannot think of a network marketing company that has a funnel-based system, that has all the components that I believe should make up a funnel-based system. Lead magnet, lead capture pages, followed by a very robust follow-up system that has meat and potatoes to it in terms of the value that you bring, where every messaging has a call to action for people to ultimately join you if they haven't done so already. Then for those folks who do join you, the opportunity for you to generate additional streams of income through the portal itself, with the affiliate center, that there'll be affiliated products in there and services that if they get those and you've got your links in there, they'll be getting it through your link, and obviously then your showcase. The lack of a list. Okay, the lack of a list. All right, so a lot of people, newer, non-tech folks, would just be intimidated about, getting their own autoresponder. Now, do I want you to have your own autoresponder that you own, you control all of the messaging? Yes, I do. But we understand that a lot of people are not there yet, all right? Once they come through the portal, prayerfully, folks will get there, all right? The autoresponder that we have is going to be limited in function. It's going to do the job of sending out these very valuable video messages that bring tremendous value and a call to action for them to join you. So I'm not going to have to say to any of that stuff, hey, get back to the person who referred you and get their link. No, it's going to be right there. The button's going to pop up. Click on the button. Now, because of the invitation process, they will need to connect with you, but all of your information is going to be right there. They don't have to search for it. I'll show you that in just a few moments. Okay. So some of the impediments of marketers starting to build their list, we're going to take that away. One, no traffic. Well, listen, you're going to get this resource from the in-house traffic guru, and yeah, you're going to pay for the course. Don't ask me how much the course is going to be. Come to the webinar. You got to be in CRB because I'm only making that webinar available to folks that are in CRB. It's only a freaking $1. My mom's going to get me for saying that. So, $1, all right? And then we'll have that webinar next week, and then, he'll talk about the course, and we'll do an interview and what have you, and some of you are going to say, that makes sense, let me go and get the resource. You pay for it one time, and now every lead that you generate because of that resource is a free lead, okay? So the traffic's going to be there. You're going to have the choice of a number of lead capture pages. That's going to help you to build your list, even if you don't have your own autoresponder. Then in time you'll graduate. You'll get your own autoresponder. In time you'll graduate. You'll have your own lead capture page software. In time you'll learn how to put together your own lead capture pages for not just CRB, but for any other offers that you're promoting, so on and so forth. Okay, but we're going to take it one step at a time. All right. Don't be overwhelmed when you come into the portal. I'm going to suggest that you spend 15 to 30 minutes a day in the portal so that you're not overwhelmed. There's going to be a lot of content. And when you first get in there, there's going to be a lot of coming soon content. But ultimately, once we start loading up more and more content, and we're never going to run out of content because we're always training. Okay? We're always learning. All right? And that's information that we're going to be able to share. What the portal today is going to be worth 10 times $30 a month. The portal 6 months from now is going to be worth far more than what the portal is going to be worth today, because we'll have all of this content that we've recorded from live webinars or what have you going into the portal to increase the value of the portal. So lack of a list, that's going to be a thing of the past. Again, ultimately you graduate to having your own list, and then we'll also get into mobile marketing and what have you. Okay, here's a big one. Lack of value. So most marketers are challenged. Gosh, this happens all the time. You get it all the time. I get the same email messages. There's a couple of buddies and buddiettes of mine. They're in network marketing, and I'm on their list. I get the same email messages from them over and over and over again, and I never get any value. All the, if dude is promoting a Bitcoin offer, okay, all I get is passive income, making X amount, and I never get value. He never gives me value because he doesn't know how to bring value. Well, you're not only going to be able to give value away right away when someone opts in, but you're going to learn how to be a person that can continually provide value. All right? Ultimately, everything that I do in my business, I'm going to put in that portal. And some of you may say, I don't want to know all that stuff. Well, okay, that's cool. That's all right. But some of you are going to want to. Ultimately, not right away, but ultimately, Lady Di, I'm gonna do a lot of over my shoulder. Hey, this is what I do on a day-to-day basis. Set my recorder on, and you're gonna watch me as I do what I do to build my business. And some of you are gonna say, I can do that, especially since I see the recording right there. All right, so we are going to bring such value to this portal that if it was $300 a month, folks would say, man, that's way too inexpensive. It should be a whole lot more than that. I've got a tool right now that I use. We talk about it. Well, we will talk about it. We don't have the content yet, but we'll talk about it in the portal. $297 a month. And I wouldn't even think about not having that tool in my arsenal to build my business. I wouldn't even think about it. And that's where we want to bring the value over time with CRB. Okay, I want to stretch your vision just a little bit. I'm going to stretch your vision just a little bit, and hopefully somebody's saying, "Well, I thought that was vision stretching." All right. Let's see here. All right, so. Some of you might remember this, and if you remember this, I'm going to ask you in just a few moments to let me know if you remember this, okay? Back in, all right, so 2012 was August of 2012 was the day the company died, okay? There was a company that we were promoting. We started promoting it, I think, in February of 2011. We didn't really understand that we had something until about August of 2011, and then we started promoting it. We did not know about list building and traffic generation and any of that kind of stuff back then. We were just the webinar dudes and Queen, the webinar dudette, and YouTube. All right, so that's really all I knew was and I'm not even talking about paid YouTube. I'm talking about just posting as many videos as I could on YouTube. And we built a monstrous team, but we did not teach to our folks, hey, take a percentage of that, reinvest it back into your business with the right tools and the resources and the paid traffic and da-da-da-da-da, okay? Not long after that company died, I went back into my training. There was a gentleman that mentored me for about 10 years, tremendous guy as it relates to understanding about money and cash flow, multimillionaire businessman and real estate investor. And one of the things that he used to always talk to me about was essentially having multiple streams of income. But it was a little bit different than what most people teach, all right? What he taught, and keep in mind, he was not a network marketer. He was not an internet marketer. He and I shared a position in a network marketing company, but I was the network marketer part of it, okay? He was the influence part of it, because when we first connected, I had no influence. All right, he had a ton of influence, but he knew nothing about network marketing. So what would happen is when we would do things offline, his influence would bring people into the room. Then I would do the dog and pony show to get them to join, and then I would do all the training and what have you. Okay. The way he taught was this. He said, you want to have. He said 3. We're gonna make it 4. All right, but he said 3 full-time income streams. What's a full-time income stream? All right, and a full-time income stream is look at your life. What does it take for you to live an enjoyable and a comfortable life on a monthly basis? All right, so you're not rich, but you're also not living like a pauper. You're not living so far beneath your means that, life is tough for you. So you're covering all of your expenses, obviously, but you're having some fun. Dudes, if you like to golf, you're able to go out and golf. Ladies, you want to get your hair done and your nails done and all that good stuff. You're able to get your hair done and nails done and date and go to the movie and do all that kind of stuff, okay? Take your vacation and what have you. Let's say that amount is $5,000, okay? He said you wanted to have at least 3 streams that made you $5,000 a piece. Now, that's what he taught. It didn't happen for most people because he wasn't a marketer, didn't know anything about the internet. So, he taught things like real estate investing and things that typically would take a long time to get to that point where you would generate that type of revenue, okay? We came back and we said with the internet, we wanted to produce 4 full-time income streams. So what happened is this came from the fact that 4 times previously, I had built an income in our home business space to $20,000 or more. And in a couple cases, a whole lot more than $20,000 a month. Then something happened beyond my control, and that income stream dried up. Well, when I would build that company or build that income stream, man, I said my nuptials. I was 100% committed to that income stream. I said, I do with this ring income stream. Did you hear the little lyrical miracleness? You hear that? I thee wed, okay? And then she would divorce me. She just left. I come home one day, she's gone. All right? Of course, not my wife, but you get my point. And so we said, with this internet thing, and our messaging was before its time because we didn't know how to do it then. We know how to do it now. We didn't know how to do it then. But we said, no, we want four full-time income streams. If you want to make $20,000 a month, that's cool. What I prefer you have is 4 income streams that's making you $5,000 a month, as opposed to just one income stream making you $20,000 a month. Because if something happens to the one income stream making $20,000 a month, guys, I got to tell you this, guys and guyettes, got to tell you this. So here you are. This was me. I'd been in this industry for over 10 years before I finally started to hit it, before I finally started to hit my stride. And I get that first income stream. Man, making $10,000 a month consistently. Oh, man, yes! $15,000 a month, then it grew to $20,000 a month. And then it's gone the next month. My gosh, how demoralizing. Because when first time I'm making it, right? $20,000 a month, I'm thinking that's going to happen forever. This is the dream of walk away residual income. It's never going to go away. And then it was gone. Okay? So I'd prefer you do this. Yeah, I want you to make $20,000 a month, but I would prefer if you had 4 income streams making $5,000 a month. So back in 2012, I connect with this particular marketer who was coming into our organization, and he tells me that he had 5 separate and distinct income streams making him $10,000 a month or more. Huh? How the heck you do that? See, remember, I grew up in the old school network marketing. You only focus on one thing and you don't do anything else other than that one thing. And so when we started teaching this concept, people fell in love with the concept. We just didn't have the skill at that time to make it come true. We've got it now. And so CRB, stretching your vision, CRB is our proof of concept. That comes from me watching Shark Tank. I love Shark Tank. My wife and I love Shark Tank. What do we mean by that? Okay, for the first time that I've seen really in marketing, we have a fully functional funnel. So we have the lead capture pages. We've got the very robust follow-up system. Now, I've seen other systems that have lead capture pages, but their follow-up system sucks. Not much to their follow-up system, not much value that is being sent out. So a very robust, very valuable follow-up system. And the beautiful part is that we can add to the lead capture pages, we can add to the robust follow-up system, we can add to the value. Every time we do a Thursday night webinar, Okay, we're going to be adding value to the portal. But what we're also going to be able to do is take some of those trainings, the ones that we feel like really have mass appeal in the marketing place, and we'll be able. Give me a moment. Let me show you this. Okay, when you come in, you're going to come here under Web Pages. Got kicked out. Bear with me. Okay, so you're going to come in under Web Pages. Anytime you see this green banner here, this is the capture page. Okay, so here's a capture page. Give me a moment. Right here's a capture page. Okay, so you'll be able to use this, choose from any of these capture pages that you want. But also what you're going to notice is you're going to notice pages that don't have the green. Well, right now what these pages are, these are the actual video messages that are going out in the autoresponder series. Okay, so for instance, right here, scaling to a 6 or a 7-figure biz. This is like on day 10ish or so. This is the video that would go out. Well, once this timer sets to 0, then there's going to be a call to action button that's going to pop up there. Now, obviously, it costs us every time we have one of these produced. We go to our programmer and he sets that up for us and what have you. But ultimately, what we're going to be able to do is, let's say that we have a webinar and it was, man, we were in the zone that night, great information, people got it. Then we'll be able to take some of those webinars that we'll put in the back office for you to view again. But we'll also be able to take some of those webinars and we'll be able to craft a page just like this with your username connected to it, have a button there. All right, and so this will be all value, this great webinar information, right? But then you'll be able to take that, send that out, post that, put it on Facebook, do whatever it is you want to, and when that call to action button comes up, if they click onto it because they've gotten value, and like always, I'll never mention my name, right? If they've gotten value from it, then they'll just click on the link and they'll see how they connect with you as their coach to join you in Divvee and get CRB from you and what have you, okay? That kind of stuff, just have never seen it before. Or let me tell you, I saw one dude in Power Network. He did a phenomenal job of bringing value. But let me tell you what he also did with his sly self, all right? And I'm not saying that negatively. He branded the whole thing to himself, his name. So what happened was Joe Average started sending out his content. Everybody knew who he was because he branded everything to his name. So now what a lot of people, because I just know people, what a lot of people did is they went around Joe Average to try to get directly to him because he was the content creator. He was the person, and everybody knew how to get to him because he told everybody who he was. And he did that knowing that he would brand himself. All right, that was all on purpose. We have purposely kept our name out of things. So unless someone knows my voice, they don't know who the dude is behind it. All they know is when this pops up and we say, hey, we've already assigned you to a coach. So connect with your coach. You obviously would be their coach. Okay. All right. So those are the types of things that we're going to be able. What was I working on? What was I typing? Okay. All right. So now, in terms of the proof of concept, all right. So I was talking about value. How we're going to be able to just. We're not ever going to be able. We're not going to ever run out of value. We're never going to run out of value. As long as you are a CRB member, you will never run out of value that you'll be able to share. with your list, whether that list is in Twitter following, or whether it's on Facebook, or you have a Facebook fan page, or you've got a text list. You will never, ever, ever, ever run out of content. Then you're going to find out how you can either cut content yourself, or if not, how you can find other pieces of valuable content outside of my messaging, outside of what I do and say, that you'll be able to leverage for value. Okay. All right. Now, the other thing is with this proof of concept, all right, we want to prove that our funnel makes you money. Yes, as it relates to Divvee. All right. So ultimately, what will happen? See, by you having CRB, by your teammates having CRB, you're not going to have to worry about training. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. All right. I love teaching. I love it. I get a high from it. I've never done drugs. I've never done crack. I cannot imagine crack being or cocaine being a higher high than what I get when I know my folks are getting it, when I know that light bulb is going off. Okay. So we're going to prove that this concept, this portal, this funnel concept makes you money. Not only helps you to make money with Divvee, helps you to generate multiple streams of income with the showcase, and so on and so forth. Okay. And then ultimately, we will produce other funnels that promote other niches. See, we want you to have multiple streams of income across multiple niches. This is important. Some niches get hot for a minute. They get hot for a few years. Nutritional drinks, Tahitian noni juice, Zango juice, Free Life with Goji juice, Mona V. They were hot for a minute. Weight loss within network marketing. Isogenics, Visalis, they were hot. They're still around, but they were really smoking hot. But then they started to tail off. Telecommunications in the 90s, hot, extremely hot. Then all of a sudden, the telecommunications industry changed, and we were no longer paying 30 cents a minute for a long distance. That seems like so long ago, right? 30 cents a minute for long distance, when everything's wrapped into your, a lot of people don't even have a home phone these days, a landline, because everything's with their cell phone. So we want to be involved in other niches. Yes, Divvee, advertising niche. All right, we're going to milk her for what she's worth. We're going to extract. We're going to leverage her to the hilt. We're going to make as much money as we possibly can because of Divvee, and we're going to reinvest a portion of that back into our business. And part of that reinvestment is going to be launching other income streams. So here's the idea. I already know this fall I plan to release another portal, all right, another funnel built around the digital currency space. We're going to be testing a number of digital currency opportunities. There's going to be a lot of them that's not going to test well. There's a bunch of crap, but we're going to find a gem here or there. Okay, so we're going to launch another portal. All right. So, but here's the idea. Here's the idea of these portals that we'll ultimately launch. You get people in CRB, they're in Divvee, they're making money, you're building a very large Divvee team, you're driving traffic, they're driving traffic, you're making money, you're reinvesting, recapping a portion of that back into your business. Your teammates are starting to do the same, because if they're in CRB, that's all they're ever hearing. They're either going to do it or they're going to grow weary and say, I don't want to hear that stuff anymore, because he's saying the same thing. Because that is what you have to do to build your business. And then they're going to start getting testimonies of Joe and Susie Average when we open up our private community, our Facebook group, which we might be opening up sooner rather than later. And people are coming in there and they're testifying about what's happening in the business. All right. And they're going to become believers. And now you're going to have a following. 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, 500 people. When I say following, not just your personals. You've got some folks following you. They've got some folks following them. They've got some folks following them, so on and so forth. We've got a following. And they're making money. The beautiful thing about Divvee is everyone that does their actions will generate points that can ultimately be converted into cash equivalents. Everybody wins. Now, when we launch another portal, another funnel in a totally different niche, and everybody grabs that also, why wouldn't you? You're making money in this funnel. We've got the proof of concept that it works. Why wouldn't you have the other funnel? Why wouldn't your other folks have the other funnel? And inside of that other funnel, there's totally separate, distinct income streams from advertising, so that we are starting to develop not only multiple streams, but across multiple niches. This fall, the next portal is coming out this fall. Probably September, October-ish. I've already started started working on the concept. And guess what? After you got funnel 1 and funnel 2 and you're making money in that, next year we're going to have a high ticket funnel. That's going to be the funnel that when people come in that funnel with you, you're going to immediately, when they buy the stuff, you're going to make a $1,000 commission or a $3,500 commission. Why is that going to happen? Because they would have made money in Divvee. They would have made money in our Bitcoin funnel. They would have made money in those. So now when they come over to the high ticket funnel, where it's high ticket, the whole idea is for you to make $1,000 or $2,500 or $3,500 on a sale. If that happens a couple times a month, and the beautiful part is because you're going to learn how to self-generate leads, you'll be able to self-generate leads for CRB/Divvee, for our upcoming fall funnel, for our high-ticket funnel next year. And then we'll ultimately have a fourth funnel because we're going to have 4 separate, distinct, minimum 4 separate, distinct income streams. At any one of those, if you need $5,000 a month, yeah, I want you making $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, but let's at least have you having multiple income streams. That any one of those can take care of your family's finances. So if one stream dries up, you're still fishing in the other streams. We had that vision end of 2012, 2013. We were expressing that vision. We had not had the skill set. But when we decided to invest in our education, mastermind groups, and really focus on funnels, i.e. the funnel doc. So my very dear buddy, who I'm going to introduce you to, he's focused on traffic and lead generation. Well, guess what? Since that's what his focus is, that's why we're bringing him into the fold and saying, hey, help our folks with traffic and lead generation, what have you. My focus has been on the development of funnels. And I've sat at the feet. I won't say the feet, kind of far away, but I've been mentored from afar by probably the best funnel builder in our industry, a gentleman by the name of Russell Brunson. Okay? So I want to stretch your vision. This is a lot more than CRB. This is a lot more than Divvee. Do we expect Divvee to be the biggest network marketing company that we've seen up to this point? I do. I really do. Do we expect CRB to be just kick butt? I do. What I want you to do with CRB is master CRB so that when we launch funnel 2 and funnel 3 and what have you, we'll come in, it'll work just the same. We're going to have some of the same marketing content in there. So everything you absorb in CRB, a lot of that will be in the other funnels. And we'll just, obviously, if we're talking about a specific opportunity as it relates to, a specific opportunity, we'll have specifics in that particular funnel. But the whole idea is we build a following that following starts to make money. We address their pains, all right? We bring ointment and salve to their pains so that these folks are locked in for life. So you get Vernetta Johnsons that have been a part of our business since the mid-2000s. Or you get the Shelley Lynch that's been a part of our business since the mid-2000s. Or you get the Andy Godfather Hoovers that's been with us since we came online, since right before we came online, I believe. Okay? And you get the Foy Underwoods, who I think maybe found us 3-4 years ago, or no, 2017, maybe 4 years ago. And the Christine Taylors and the Lady Dies that I've known since the early 2000s. That's what you want. So that when something else comes up that is a great opportunity, if we're going to promote it, we're going to have a funnel for it. We're going to do what must be done and automate as much of it as possible. Lead capture pages, robust follow-up system. So once we got CRB up and running, all right, see, I can take an hour a day and say, I'm just working on the fall funnel. So that by the time fall comes and we figured out what the little bugs were, so we won't have those issues when we launch that particular funnel. Okay? So this is a lot more than just Click, Rank, and Bang, than just Divvee. This is the fulfillment of something we started speaking, did not know how it was going to transpire. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the goods. This is the game plan. Minimum of 4 income streams. Any one of those become full-time income streams, and any one of those can take care of your family. And then what you do with those 4 income streams, we'll talk about when you come into the portal. When you come into the portal, there's going to be a training called Big Picture. We've got Big Picture 1 and then Big Picture 2. You're going to want to watch all of that. So let's just very quickly take you through what to expect. All right. Real quickly. So the challenge we had last weekend, we thought we were ready to go, and I had done my individual testing. I called up Queen. Hey, Queen, I think we're just about ready to go. Let's do this one final test. And wouldn't you know it, probably because of all that hate she was spreading, wouldn't you know it, it didn't act right. Well, that's not what I saw.
It didn't have anything to do with me.
Hate, see? It's hate. You stop spreading that hate.
I really wasn't spreading hate.
Stop spreading that hate. Okay. So in any event, trying to figure out, well, what the heck happened? Where did that come from? Remember, Quentin, I was like, where did that come from? I hadn't seen that. What the heck happened? And that's what we've been working on all week, this little pesky bug. Why is this happening? This wasn't happening last week. Why is this happening? Well, about 4 o'clock this morning, it hit me. Oh, wait a minute. I had my guy do something to this. I bet you that threw something off. And then finally about 4 o'clock this morning, we figured it out. And so we've been testing it all day, and everything has worked beautifully. The reason we didn't launch tonight is because I got no sleep last night, okay? But because we've been trying to identify this bug, there were some things that I was looking to load into the portal that I hadn't had a chance to load up. So I wanted to have tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow to load up some of that content, all right? Now, real quickly, let me let you know what to expect as you come into the system. Okay. Now, we will have a video to this effect. This video is going to be right here. I just had to recut it a few minutes ago. So prayerfully, that these 2 videos that are on the homepage, I have to get to my programmer, and we're 12 hours apart. So hopefully he'll get my message and he'll put our new video in. If he does not, let me just tell you what to expect when you come into the system. The top 3 things that you want to do, all right? Top 4 things. 1, watch this video, okay? The new video is going to be like 6 minutes. All right, so watch this video. Number 1. Number 2, let's put this on our whiteboard. watch first portal video. Okay. Now, in that, I'm going to tell you the other 3 things you want to do, but I'm going to tell you this now just in case that video, that new video that I just cut is not in there for some reason. Then you're going to go to the Marketing Vault. And you are going to, there is an intro video on the Marketing Vault. It's like 4 minutes. You'll watch that. But the big thing that you want to do is there's a video that walks you through registering for free for our private affiliate system. So let me show you this real quickly. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to Marketing Vault, Getting Started. Marketing Vault, Getting Started. Let's put that here. Marketing Vault, Getting Started. Now, assuming that my video is in place on the front page, we tell you all this, all right? But I just wanted to tell you just in case he doesn't get that first video in, okay? So here's the 4-minute video that says start here, start there, and then the very next video is going to walk you through how to get your affiliate link loaded in the system so that when you use our lead capture pages or you use any of the video pages, that your link is the one that's receiving the credit, okay? And obviously some of you have people that are going to be waiting to get CRB from you. So as soon as you get into the system, watch that first video on the home page, like 6 minutes. Watch this video here, 10 minutes. Then get over here and take care of becoming a free affiliate. All right, we walk you through that whole process. All right. So the third thing we're doing is registering for the free private affiliate system. Okay? All right. And then the fourth thing you'll do, all right, after you've registered for the free affiliate system, you'll go back to the home page and watch the orientation video. Orientation video. All right. What's that? You come right back here to the home page. That's a team pop-up, by the way. You'll learn what that is and how to start to set that up. Okay. Here is the orientation video. Basically, on the orientation video, we kind of walk you through the portal, so you know the highlights. You know, like anything, you just need to spend a little time and you'll get to know it. But we walk you through with the highlights of the web pages and the autoresponder and what have you. Now, if you do not have an autoresponder, that's cool. That's all right. You don't have to have one. You can go right to my web pages and choose any of these capture pages, anything that has the green there, all right? And you can start using those capture pages. It's synced with the internal autoresponder. If you have an autoresponder and you want to collect those leads in your existing autoresponder, Aweber, GetResponse, so on and so forth, okay? Then what you'll do, we walk you through that. You'll go under Tools and under Autoresponder Messages. There's a video there that tells you how to load up the autoresponder messages into your own autoresponder. You've got Aweber, you've got GetResponse, you've got GBO, you've got Pure Leverage or what have you. And it'll walk you through, and all of the autoresponder messages are back here. All you have to do is copy and paste. And they will bring your information in, meaning whatever you have in the system as your email address or what have you, contact information, they'll bring all of that information in. This already will be loaded with your affiliate, with your links. You just need to make sure you put your affiliate link in our system with instructions we give you with that, what was it? I think it was the second instruction. Go to the Marketing Vault and go through the video to get registered with our private affiliate system, okay? All right, so this is so cool because all of these so you could take this message, for instance, and let's say that you've got some people that are not in your email list and you just want to send them some value, take it. And adjust it. You take whatever out. If you don't like saying suck and you want to put stink, put stink. I don't care. They're going to hear me say suck, but I don't care. All right. If you want to take this content and you want to post it on Facebook or tweet it out or what have you. All right. So these are all of the messages in the autoresponders are right back here. You can copy and paste this, and you can start getting it out in other forms and methods and what have you. Okay. And all of these links are hyperlinks that would go to, so for instance here, this one here. All right, so I'm logged into Sue Average. All right, so here's a training. Click and turn your mobile device into an ATM. So here's one of our video messages. And I don't know if you can see this up here.
Well, welcome back, Lee.
But right there would be your information there. All right, so this video message connects directly to you. All right? Okay. Let's see. What else? And I need to be rounding third because I actually plan on getting some more work done tonight. Vision stretching. Oh, I need to give you instructions. That's right. Okay. So here are the launch instructions. This is what we're going to do. For my personals, all right, and many of you are already in my list, in my personals list, all right. If you are an orphan, maybe you started following us with some other opportunity, and that opportunity is maybe we're not promoting it or it went away, and the person that you followed is not following anymore, but you continue to follow us. I'll share with you how we get you taken care of in just a few moments. But let's just be mindful. I'm always very cognizant. I understand that we have a lot of influence because we do the live webinars, we do the recordings, we bring the value. And I am always so cautious because I never, ever, ever want to take anyone's referral credit, okay? So I'm always asking you to make sure you move in integrity. So if you are, so FMA, all right, FMA, now let's not use Ethel, let's use Cynthia Lambert, okay? I know Cynthia follows Queen Twitter, all right? So Cynthia, I love you, but this particular webinar I'm going to do tomorrow night, as much as I love you, don't get on it. So I'm not posting that link to our regular list because I want to just make sure that the personals have their links, all the questions answered, they've got their links, and then they're going to start distributing their links to their folks. So Cynthia, you're going to wait for Queen to get you her links, so on and so forth. All right, so what I'm going to do is it could be that during the day, it would be later in the day, maybe like 5 or 6 Eastern, I could send out an email with links for you to go on and start the process. What I would want to do is I really want to send out a lead capture page with the new messaging. There'll be some things that you've heard me talk about because you've come to our live webinars when we presented Divvee. But we had to alter the messaging given the fact that we're not open yet. So we had to bring in more messaging about beta, and what beta means, that not everything's going to be smooth, all right? But boy, what if we had been there? What if Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook had this vision, had this this model, and we were able to be a part of beta with Facebook? I mean, given what Facebook has become, you'd be foolish not to want to be a part of beta, even if there are some lumps in the road. So that's part of that messaging. I really want you to hear that. I want you to hear what folks are going to be saying. I want you to hear how we talk about you being a coach. Okay? The reason we're saying things like when someone opts in. See, when someone opts in, the email that they get, while it's going to be the same email that John is sending, that Mary is sending from the system, the from, who is that messaging coming from, is going to be different. All right? John's message is going to come from John. Mary's message is going to come from Mary, or whatever you have loaded up in the system, unless you have your own autoresponder. but I don't know who that's going to be. So we're going to say things like, hey, you just opted in. All right. We've got some great training for you today, but we've already assigned you a coach. And your coach is going to be the one that's going to be sending you a 30-day, step-by-step, point-by-point, take you by the hand to help you develop a 6 or a 7-figure biz, even if right now you're not good, even if right now you stink, even if you just plain suck at marketing, okay? So I want you to hear that messaging, all right? I want you to hear that messaging. So sometime tomorrow, probably later in the day, is what I plan to start sending that out to my personals. Then for my personals, we're going to have a live webinar. We're going to do that at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do that. And I know it's a Friday night. I get that. I don't normally do business on the weekends, all right? So I know it's a sacrifice for all of us. Live webinar, 8 p.m. Eastern. This will be on a different link. And I will not share that link with our overall messaging. I'm only going to share that with those that are in my personals list, okay? And that way we don't have any integrity issues, all right? Then what we're going to do, all right? So now what's going to happen is the purpose of that webinar is just to make sure that you've gotten your links, you've been able to get into the system, you have registered as an affiliate, and then maybe answer a few questions, and then make sure that you now start getting your links out to folks. So then on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have a webinar at this regular link, all right? This same link that you normally use. We'll have a webinar at 8 p.m. Now, by that time, many of you that are not my personals would have already gotten into the system, all right? The purpose of the Saturday at 8 is kind of like a launch party. Hey, we're finally launched. We're now open for business. Is there anyone that's still waiting for a link? John, you're waiting for a link. Who's supposed to give you a link, John? Oh, Mary's supposed to. Hey, Mary, if you're out there, John's waiting for you. That kind of thing, okay? If there happens to be still some orphans out there that got the messaging late, to make sure everybody is taken care of, all right? Then on next week, we're looking at Tuesday because Tuesday is our regular webinar night, all right? Next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m., that webinar will only be for CRB folks, okay? We are going to, it'll be on a different webinar link. We'll make the link known available inside of CRB. So if you're following us, but you don't do CRB for whatever reason, don't know why you wouldn't, dollar test drive, then I love you, but this is value to our CRB folks, okay? Tuesday at 8 p.m., in-house traffic guru, okay? And then you'll be able, those of you that decide that you want to get his course, you'll be able to get his course. And many of you in a day to 2 days time will be placing your first ads, getting traffic. That's how quick his course material. A lot of times what infopreneurs do is they put a lot of fluff in their course material so that they can charge whatever it is they're going to charge. This is so straightforward, straight to the point, so non-technical that you literally could go through the information in 2 to 3 hours, okay, and be placing ads that day or the next day. And any leads that you generate would be free leads. All right, you pay for the course once, and now you generate free leads, period. Bottom line. And we're talking, we've shown in some of our promotional material, a young lady that's a student of his. She's in Divvee also. She had 18 free leads from one ad that she placed. I don't know that it was one ad. It might have been more than one. But 18 leads that day that came in. 2 of them joined her in Divvee the same day. And, there was no CRB that she was, she didn't have the follow-up messaging or anything like that, all right? And the message that they sent people to about Divvee wasn't the message that I would want to send people to. Because to me, it was just the Divvee message. It wasn't a more comprehensive message. All right. I want the comprehensive message because I want that person that says, yeah, I deserve 6 or 7 figures, and they're willing to do the work to ultimately get there. Because then when we do funnel 2, funnel 3, funnel 4, guess what? When we do funnel 2, you should have an immediate boost to your income because people follow you in funnel 2. And when we do funnel 3, the high ticket funnel, we're not doing a high ticket funnel until we have enough people making really good money where the high ticket, where it's no big deal for you to make $1,000 purchase or $3,500 purchase or what have you. So you're qualified, and then people behind you are making purchases, and you're making $1,000 commission and $3,500 commissions and $7,500 commissions. Okay, that's at least a year off, but I wanted to show you where we're going. So you have your CRB Divvee funnel. You're making tons of money with Divvee in time, probably more money than we've ever made before. That allows us to test a number of different opportunities to find those gems, find that 1 or 2 or 3 gems in the cryptocurrency space. And you've got the resources to do that without hurting yourself. And some of those will have their own income streams, so you could develop multiple income streams just in that portal. And then ultimately we have our high ticket portal when the time is right, when we've got enough of our people making money. All right, so Gail, when people follow you into the high ticket funnel, I want you that first month in the high ticket funnel making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. That's the whole goal, is that when we launch the high ticket funnel, that we've got people that first month making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 easily, because they already have a flow of people joining them willing to do the high ticket because they've made money. You help people make money, they'll listen to the rest of your marketing message. Okay? All right. Last thing. If you are now, so everybody should know who their CRB referrers should be. Okay? If you are a CRB orphan, and some of you have already emailed in. Now, I have not emailed back simply because we haven't had the time, okay? All right. If you are a CRB orphan, then just email support@clickrankandbank.com and just put in the subject line CRB orphan. Make sure you've got your contact information, email address, and maybe if you want to also provide a number for texting or maybe a Facebook or what have you. So here's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to, when I'm ready to send out links to my personals, which will probably predate the webinar, all right, it'll probably be earlier than the webinar. I'm going to send out an email to all of our lists saying I'm going to send out an email to my personals, all right? Some of you that are in my text list, I'll send out a text also. I'm going to send out an email and a text to my personals. Then I'm going to follow up by saying I just sent out an email to all of my personals. That way, if for some reason you didn't get that email and you should be one of my personals, you'll know that you need to connect with me. If you're in my list, you should already have your link. But if you get a message that says, hey, I just sent out a list to my personals, and you didn't get that email, that means that for some reason you're not in my personals list, and you'll connect with me or what have you. Please only join with my referral link if you should join me with my referral link. If you should be joining Queen, if you should be joining Ray, if you should be joining Gail, you join Ray and Gail. I promise you, I will help you make money no matter who your CRB or Divvee sponsor or referrer is. I promise you. That's why we put this portal together, so that we could build with a larger team in mind, even if people weren't in our Divvee team. We could build with a larger team in mind and help as many people as we possibly can, regardless of sponsorship. Okay? All right. And then one last thing here, and Queen, we can open it up for about 15 minutes of Q&A. One last thing here. If you're international and we don't quite know where Divvee stands with your country. You know, we know that Divvee is going to be opening up Canada soon. We're here in Japan. The fact that they said they had a lot of content in the UK would lead me to believe that UK won't be that far behind. That's me talking. But when we get to Bermuda, I don't know. Gail, I wish I had a better answer for you and your folks from Bermuda. I'm sorry. So what's going to be very key with CRB is going to be your showcase. Now, in your questions box, really quickly, and we'll be rounding third here. Only answer, all right, if you do not have a good additional offer other than Divvee, all right, that you can put in your showcase, just put a D in for do not. I do not have another good offer. If you do not, that's a little bit more than what I thought. Okay. Okay. All right. So whether you are in the U.S. or whether you are in international. Okay. So here is how this is going to work. All right. Your showcase shows to those who get CRB from you. Okay. Now you need to load up your showcase, and we show you how to do that under the Getting Started section. All right, so for instance, I'm logged into Sue Average. Joanne Test is my referrer, my CRB referrer. I can see Joanne's showcase, okay, right over here. Okay, so obviously, for those that are going to be personal to me, you're going to be able to see my showcase. So you're going to be able to see what else I'm doing or testing outside of Divvee. Okay. Now, it'll be up to you as to whether or not you want to employ those streams or not. All right, but the whole idea is that if you don't have a good other showcase items, and let's say you're direct to me, find one of those things that we also have going on, and let that be another income stream for you. I'm going to focus on things that allow our international folks to start making money sooner rather than later. Okay. And so if you are personal to me, you'll see that. If you didn't already have something, adopt one of those and then put it in your showcase. And that way any of your folks, they'll see what you are doing. Okay? If you already have a good showcase items, make sure as your homework assignment between now and when you get the portal, make sure you've got some content. Whether it's just a write-up, whether it's sending a video. Now, one of the things that we've done here is that even if you went and grabbed a YouTube video, and we show you how to do it, if you grabbed a YouTube video that talks about that offer, excuse me, that talks about that offer, this is a YouTube video, but notice what it doesn't have. All that crud. When I say all that crud, all the advertisements, all the other videos that take your people's attention. And ultimately, if you don't already know how to do so, you'll find out in the portal, content we've got to load up, it's not there now, but you'll find out in the portal how you could go, and if there's a YouTube video that you really like, how you can take it off of YouTube and then load it to your computer and then ultimately load it up to your own YouTube channel. So you're not promoting somebody else's YouTube channel on somebody else's YouTube video on their channel where they may have a call to action for people to do business with them. All right, you want to stay away from that. So in any event, if you do not have a good offer, pay attention even more intently to your referrer showcase. Here's the other thing I want us to commit to. If your referrer has a showcase item, whether it's a product or service that you might buy, or whether it is a an income opportunity that you might join. Okay? And Queen, remind me, I want to make this a covenant. I want to make this a document that people have and they commit to. Queen, if I'm intrigued by the offer, and if I happen to go to Facebook, or if I happen to go to YouTube as a way to just research that offer anymore, guess what I am not going to do? I'm not going to join somebody that I found on YouTube. I'm not going to buy from somebody that I found on Facebook. If I found out about it through my referral showcase, or even if I had heard about it before, and now I see they're showcasing it, and boy, I like that offer, that sounds good, I think I want to try that thing, guess what? I'm doing it through the person who brought me to CRB. Why? So we can keep the money in the family. And that's what you would want. And that's the type of strong messaging you want me to send to your folks. Hey, your folks, don't you go. Joanne referred you. Don't you dare go to Facebook and join somebody else. You do that, I love you, but I don't want you in CRB. Because at CRB, we're building a community and we're building a family that says, I might be Joe Average, but because I'm leveraging CRB, if I have an offer and you came through CRB, you're joining me. And if you can't commit to that, then we're not on the same page and I'm a waste of your time and I love you and I bid you heaven speed, but CRB's not for you. We built CRB so that, and the reason I don't say my name in any of these videos, because if I said my name in the videos, I'd recruit more people. But it ain't about me recruiting more people. It's about building a larger following of ravenous fans so that when we launch funnel number 2, funnel number 3, funnel number 4, people are joining funnel 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 17 because they believe that they found a leader with some integrity who's not trying to poach their people and is going to help them make money. Okay, that was my sermon. Queen, I feel my help coming, Queen.
You've been kind of preaching all night. Okay?
Have I been preaching all night?
Yes.
Oh, really? Well, shoot, if I've been preaching all night, it's time for the tithes and offerings. Pass the bucket. I am not playing. Pass the bucket. All right, Queen, let's get... Okay. Okay.
You're using up the time.
All right. I'm finished. Queen, go to Q&A.
Right. How many items can we have in the showcase?
It's an unlimited number of items you can have in the showcase. What will happen? Oh, Queen, they can hear you. I don't have to repeat the question. Audience can hear you now. Cool. And you sound good, too, by the way. So that's coming out across good. What will happen is if you have more, you can get about 3 items of what we would call above the fold, right here. Each of these are a headline or what have you. If you have more than that, then there's just going to be a scroll bar that you'll just scroll down where a person can scroll down. Now, when people are going through for the most part, every training video that we have in here is going to have a little announcement. It's basically a call to action. So when you watch a video, I want you to watch every second of every video, including the announcement. There'll be some announcements that will say something like, hey, don't forget, go back to your referral showcase, check out what they're doing, see if they've added something to their showcase, because we know if they've added something, it may be further down the fold. But the other reason that the team pop-up is so important, and again, under getting started, we talk about the team pop-up. We show you how to set up the team pop-up and what have you. That team pop-up was every so often when somebody's refreshing the screen or they're logging in or what have you. I'll see if I can make it happen. There's going to be a pop-up that's going to show up, and there we go. Okay? So what will happen is you'll be able to, you'll want to set up your team pop-up, okay? And one of the things that you can do, there's a lot of things you can do with the team pop-up, but let's say that you've just added a new opportunity, added something else. That's a great thing to show in your team pop-up. Hey, stop everything, brand new offer, check this out. Okay? And that pops up. It's a little bit more in their face. It's still not intrusive because they can always click out of the link up here, and there's a link down here, what have you. And you control all of this content. So this is basically a mini showcase that pops up every now and then when someone is clicking through the portal or what have you. But the answer to that, unlimited number of opportunities or whatever in your showcase. Next question.
If I've already sent an email to you that I am an orphan, do I need to do anything else?
No, you don't. If I haven't responded to you, it's just because I haven't had the time. You're cool. If you already sent it in, you're fine.
Okay. If the person I signed up with Divvee is also on board to CRB, do I sign up with that same person?
Yeah, but let me just say this. Let me just a qualifier. I gave a lot of sponsorship away. Okay, if I gave sponsorship, if I gave John to Mary, all right, and John said, well, I want to sign up with you because I really follow you. You just happen to surrogate me out to Mary. I think that's fair because I brought John to the table. But now, if I had nothing to do with that, if Mary brought on John and I didn't give John to her in the surrogate relationship, Mary is the one that brought John to the table, then John needs to be getting CRB from Mary.
Okay. Will we be able to customize our landing pages?
No, you won't be able to customize your landing pages. I'm not even sure if that's a function in this particular system. However, when we get to tools, all right, we're going to share with you tools. It's one primary tool that if you get that tool, you can customize everything. And it's the same tool that I use every day in my business, to customize landing pages. But these pages internal to the system, they're not customizable. Next question.
What is the dollar trial comment about? I just found out about that.
Dollar trial comment. Lost me.
Okay, you were saying something about $1 for the 7-day trial period.
Okay.
The 7-day trial period is $1.
Yeah, the 7-day test drive period is. I don't use the word trial. I say test drive. I don't like the word trial, by the way. But all right, the 7-day test drive period it's $1 for a 7-day test drive. After that, if a person hasn't canceled out, $30 a month. Okay. Now the reason we are doing that is not for our existing following. You guys have heard about CRB. You already want CRB. And there have been some folks in the questions box over the past few weeks who said, I don't need the trial. Okay. We did the test drive instead of the word trial. I hate that. We did the test drive really more for the cold market. So what we want to have is people don't know us. You're doing some lead generation, some traffic generation, what have you. People don't know you. All right. Our first offer to them needs to be a low outlay offer. So we've got low barriers to entry. Divvee is a low outlay offer, $50. Our test drive is $1. All right. So $51. And you've got Divvee and you've got CRB. They come into CRB. If they spend any time, you cannot go through any of this content and not feel that it's worth at least $30 a month. If someone cancels out, it's going to be because they got in, they ain't do jack. All right, and those people we're not going to be able to help anyway. All right, that's why somebody said, Queen, the poor you have with you always. I can't want it more for someone; they want it for themselves. But if anybody goes through any of this content, they're going to keep it. So I don't know if that's what they were talking about or not. That's why we did the $1 test drive.
Okay, will you be screening or like approving whatever goes into folks' showcase?
No. We wouldn't have the manpower to do that. I will say, if you see something in someone's showcase that should not be there, y'all know, you know what that stuff is. Anything that's pornographic or talks about hate or what have you, you let us know. And then we can, because we can look at someone's showcase, but to actually be going through looking at people's showcases and what have you, No, we don't have the manpower, nor would we want to. If somebody's being egregious with it, let us know, and we'll take the appropriate steps. Because, again, if somebody's doing something like that, they're not part of our fabric. And I love people, but I got no problem kicking people out of anything if they're not part of our fabric. Somebody who's always complaining, Queen, I understand when you got to deal with some stuff from time to time, but are you just belly aching? I love you, but because I ain't dealing with no grown folk that's acting like kids. So if you see something and they're not part of our fabric, let us know. And normally people that's not part of our fabric, not part of our tribe, they won't stick around anyway.
Donna Marie from the UK is saying thank you, and we thank you for being here, though, Donna.
Yeah, we wouldn't be doing this without you. I wouldn't be trying to figure out how to squash a bug at 4 o'clock in the morning. Next question.
Is the $30 a month an automatic debit?
Yes, that will be automatic.
And can we enter CSV leads into the system? No.
I don't think so. Let's say no for right now. If I find out something different.
I think you've already. They can't put in leads into this system.
You can take leads out.
Right, you can take leads and put them into your own autoresponder.
Yeah.
If you start out with this system and you don't, and you decided you were going to get your own autoresponder system,
right?
Then you can actually take these leads and put it in there.
Right, exactly.
It said earlier on that you could not add leads to the system.
Right.
Okay. NCRB. Well, this is probably going to be the last one. NCRB. Will there be any additional charges beyond the $30 a month with reference to the autoresponder system within CRB?
In reference to the autoresponder, no. Obviously, there's going to be various tools that we'll be recommending, and you'll decide if you want those tools. You'll decide if you want those resources. But as it relates to you spending any more money for the autoresponders or for lead capture pages or any of that kind of stuff, the answer to that is no.
Okay. You might have one more answer.
Okay.
Do you or will you set up an email follow-up system copy code in Aweber so that with one click we could just download the follow-up?
You know what? Here's the reason why we can't do that. All right, we can't do that because each of these messages. All right, let me give you an example. Okay, once we get past. Let's say we get to message number 5 as an example, okay? All right, so here's the subject, turn your mobile device into an ATM machine, and here's your messaging. Well, what happens is we have today's training, all right? That's going to be a video training. Let me click on. All right, and that's going to be this message right here, okay?
Well, welcome back.
But this is what we have found. Did I mess that? Okay, this is what we have found, and this is where we've done very well in business, okay? We've done well cutting video content. So, Queen, I would load a lot of content up on YouTube. I'm promoting a particular offer. I wouldn't just talk about that offer. I would bring value and what have you. And what would happen is I would have people who would reach out to me saying, hey, I want to join your team. And I would hear stuff like, I just spent 3 hours going through your videos. 3 hours. 3 hours, Queen. I know for me, I wound up, when I did a mastermind, it was a $20,000 mastermind. Queen, I know I spent a whole weekend, I probably spent 15 to 20 hours just going to this person's content because it was that good and it was that mesmerizing. So by the time I reached out, I was already a buyer. And so when we send out emails, we know not everybody's going to open our emails. So when we do have them open it up, we want to see if we can grab their attention. So what we do is we have today's message, all right? But then we'll say, hey, in case you missed yesterday or the day before, because remember, we're sending out emails every day, all right? In case you missed that, here was the first training, and here was the second, here was the third. Now, as we get a little bit further in, what typically happens is you've got today's message, you've got the message from 2 days ago, and then the message from yesterday. Because what we're basically doing is we're building a series. So we're saying, let's say if we're talking about lead capture pages, why you want to build your own list. All right, so today's message is laying a foundation for tomorrow's message, which lays a foundation for the next message. Now, if you miss a message, will each message be its own standalone where you get value if that's all you ever saw? Yes. But we want, since they open up the email, we want to provide the last couple of messages in case, man, they listen to it, they like it, and immediately they've got content to consume. So here's the challenge with doing like an AWeber code. All right? That's 3 different links right here. Because you've got the link to this one video assigned directly to you. You've got the link to this video that's assigned to you. You've got maybe 3 links in a message. And I don't see how we do that with AWeber, because each day has a different link. If that makes some sense, okay?
It makes sense, and also it has your coding inside the link.
Exactly, yeah. The reason we put this here is I told my programmer, hey, listen, I need you to put a variable so that, as you'll notice, Queen, I'm in Sue Average, right? All right, so what do you see? This is Sue Average's information. If I logged out of here, let me log out and let me go into another one of my testing accounts.
Okay, your time is up pretty much.
Okay,
so.
all right. Okay, go.
I'm just letting you know.
All right. Okay, so let me show you this, and I'll finish here. So you just saw Sue Average. Okay, so now I'm in doc testing, okay? And look at what happens when I go to the autoresponder messages. There you go. See that? It brought in the information that I've given the system, okay? And we've got some other variables in there. Let's say like if you put your Facebook in under my personal profile, it'll bring in your Facebook. Or if you put your Twitter handle, it'll bring in your Twitter and what have you. So if you've got AWeber, what you're going to simply do, it doesn't take long. I was loading mine up last night, as a matter of fact. You're just going to go in, and here's the subject. Copy, paste. And here's the messaging. Copy, paste. Then once you paste it, if you want to put more information, you certainly can. These links are already ready to go. They've already been tested. You don't have to worry about that. All right, Queen's kicking me off so I can get back to work. Love each and every one of you. We are launching tomorrow, probably 5, 6 o'clock. I'll start sending out some links to our personals. I'll send out information to our broader list saying, hey, I just sent out links to my personals. That way, if there was an oversight or whether you were not in my personals list, you can get in touch with me and say, hey, I didn't get the link. Then we'll have a webinar specific to my personals on tomorrow night. And then we'll have a webinar on Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for all of our audience. We might even have an impromptu webinar on Monday if we feel like we need to. If we don't feel like we need to, we'll be cool. And then we're looking at bringing our in-house traffic guru, our IHTG, on Tuesday night. Have a great weekend. Love each and every one of you. Look forward to seeing you inside the portal. Queen, click! My gosh, rank!
Rank and bank.
And bank. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bruce, he didn't give a date. He said, Bruce asked when Lance said that we might reopen. He was saying by the end of the month. So I don't know if that's the end of the month, if that's the third week, second week, I'm not sure. Okay. Good night, everyone.